So you've decided to attend Katsucon! Great! No, why would you do that? No, I'm just kidding. You've clicked on this video because you want to learn how to survive Katsucon. Well, I am here to tell you. I'm not, by any means, a veteran of Katsucon, but I have been for the past, 3 years. I would have been 4 years, but, COVID. But I've been to Katsucon since 2019, so I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to Katsucon. So I thought this would be a general tips video, more tailored to Katsucon, but I guess it could work towards other conventions as well. But this is going to have a lot more tips catered to Katsucon. So we're just going to go down different subjects dealing with Katsucon and general convention stuff, and I'll tell you how to survive it. If you don't know me, I'm Jules. I'm a lesbian cosplayer and content creator, but that's not important. I know how it feels to cosplay, so I thought I had some expertise on this. But before we even get to the convention, let's talk about travel. The convention's about almost a week away, so you should have your travel plans already, but let's say you're planning for next year's Katsu, whatever. So luckily, I don't have to travel to Katsucon. Katsu is my home convention. It's my one Maryland convention. So I don't have to travel that far to go to this convention. I don't have to stay at a hotel, but this year I am because my friends from out of state are coming up. So I thought I'd stay with them. The Katsu Hotel, you either want to book that the minute it goes on sale, or you're not getting it. Also, it is the most expensive con hotel I think I've ever seen for a convention of this size. You're going to be spending at least $1,000 just booking the hotel in the first place. So you better gather some friends to fill up that hotel room to split that cost. But there are hotels around the Gaylord. You don't have to stay at the Gay. That was a terrible joke. But there are hotels right near the Katsu, but there's only about 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. So you might want to book those as soon as they are available to book. And then again, you don't have to stay local. If you have a car, there's plenty of parking at Katsu. I always thought that it would be a problem parking at Katsu, but there's 2 parking garages right across the street. And all 3 days last year when I went, my friend and I just drove there, we didn't have a problem parking. It's a little expensive for parking, but we'll get into why you might want to park close. In case you don't know this, there's a difference between Inner Harbor and National Harbor. Katsu is not in DC, it's not in Virginia, it's in Maryland. There are 2 harbors. You have National Harbor, where Katsu is at, which is near DC, and then you have Inner Harbor, which is Baltimore. And that is the complete opposite direction of Katsu. You do not want to end up in Inner Harbor, but the convention is not in Baltimore. So do not book trains to Baltimore. You want to be going towards DC. Union Station. That's the one you want to be going if you're going by train. So you got your hotel booked. You're traveling down or up to Katsu. Let's go to the convention. Katsu is a pretty decently sized convention. It's not the biggest con I've been to. I'd argue that Otakon is the biggest con I've ever been to. But it's not Anime Expo either. Katsu is not the biggest con you will ever see, but it's not some tiny local con. So if you've ever only been to those, this might be a shock to you. There might be a lot to take in. The Gaylord is a big place, and it's a very nice place. I really like that Katsu's there. Is it getting a little cramped for the Gaylord? Maybe. If you've only experienced a local con with only 1,000 people or maybe 5,000, Katsu's a lot bigger than that. Alright, let me see a show of hands. Who likes to wait in line for registration? Nobody? Nobody? Okay, well, let's get on to registration for Katsu. Thursday, you're going Thursday to pick up your badge. This year, I splurged and got the VIP badge. It's the first time I'm doing VIP. But as you can see, I've done general admission every other year, so I've had to wait in that nice long line. Let's talk about the line. I know con registration is never the fun part of the convention, but I would say Katsu has the worst registration I have ever seen in any convention, even at Otakon. Otakon, you go in, you go through the line real quick, you get your badge, you get out. Katsucon, it's like a tradition. So you enter the convention through the normal way, through the front doors, then you go down the stairs, and then you see a whole bunch of people already waiting. Even if you've got there a good amount of time in advance, you are going to be waiting. So you're going to see the line is snaking through that big room. So you're like, all right, well, let's stand there. This can't be that long, right? Last year took me 3 hours. 3 hours. The quickest I've probably gone through the Katsu registration is maybe like an hour and a half. So, bar minimum, you're waiting an hour and a half. Max, 3-4 hours. So you better bring your Nintendo Switch, your Steam Deck, something to occupy you. You're not gonna be able to go through TikTok in that line. You think the service is gonna be good down there? No. So you better bring something that you can do offline. You better restart that Animal Crossing island. That's how long it's gonna take you. You're gonna have a whole island done by the time you get to the front of that registration line. Because last year, the Wi-Fi went out, so they had to manually type your name in to find your ticket. Please have everything ready when you get up there. I've seen people, like, dig through their bag as soon as they get up there. It's like, don't be that person. I already have stuff out. I mean, my anxiety makes me do that like 20 people before me. But yeah, after that 3-hour line, you get your badge, you go on with your day. You go back to the hotel room. There's not really much you can do at the convention on Thursday. But let's say you can't make it Thursday. You just can't. You're traveling down. You can't make it Thursday. How's Friday through Sunday registration? Well, you can't go through the front door. I'm gonna tell you that right now. At Katsucon, you can't get through that front door, partner. They're gonna be like, sorry, you gotta go around the back. All the way outside. I don't know why I'm doing a southern accent. But you gotta go completely around the building. There's no signs or anything. You just gotta figure it out. I've done Friday registration once in my life. It wasn't the worst. Would I want to do it again? No. Because that was about an hour or two of standing in line when I'd rather do anything else at the convention. So you're gonna be going around the building outside. Luckily, you get to stay inside to wait for the ticket. If not, you're waiting outside. I'll get to the weather at Katsu, but let's continue. So, it's the same process. You just wait in the line, get your badge, and then you can go. As I brought up weather, let's talk about weather. I don't know if you're from around here or if you're coming all the way from Australia. Katsucon weather sucks. I have never had good weather going through Katsucon. It's either going to be rainy. I don't think I've been to Katsucon that started snowing really bad. Bar that, at least one, if not all of the days have been rainy, windy, gusting wind, cold, very, very cold, and cloudy. I think I've maybe once seen a sunny day song at Katsucon. So you probably already have your cosplays planned, but if they are not rainproof, windproof, maybe consider bringing something else. Or do not think about spending time outside of that convention. Those harbor winds coming in. I did the JoJo meetup last year. My Emporio hat, I was dumb and I didn't pin it to my wig. It went flying. I caught it, thankfully, but it's not fun taking pictures outside and the wind is just... Yeah, so... Katsu has a lot of nice scenery outside. However, the weather does not like you taking pictures out there. So just be prepared for that. So we'll go into photo shoot spots next, since we're already outside in the nice areas. I can already tell you the gazebo is gonna have a line. I've never taken a picture in the gazebo because I didn't feel like waiting in that line. I know, I'm a terrible Katsu goer. So if you want a famous gazebo picture, be prepared to wait in that line. The fountain. A lot of people take pictures in front of the fountain. You're not supposed to climb on things around the fountain, but people do it anyway, but I'm telling you here first, don't do it. Everybody's going to be taking pictures in front of the fountain. So if you're looking for spots that aren't crowded, upstairs there's a place where there's a nice chandelier. And there's like a clear back, it's where the stairs are. I've taken some pretty nice pictures up there. It looks nice. I would say any of the upstairs areas is usually not as crowded because there's not really many people that congregate up there. Outside though, outside is usually where you want to take your pictures, if the weather is not dookie. Immediately when you walk outside where there's benches and flowers, oh, that is photographer central. And near the gazebo wall, there's these window panes near the gazebo. It's just a line of professional photographers. Same with outside, as soon as you go outside. It's like a model shoot with how many professional cameras and light boxes that you'll see out there. So maybe not do that, but there's plenty of other places. There's a whole beach down there, as you see with people posting with the Ferris wheel in the background. That's nice. There's plenty of places out there. You just gotta walk a little bit further. However, with the beach, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of parts of the beach that are covered in trash. So, If you don't want that, maybe consider not the beach and going towards more of the outer areas. Okay, so you've taken your pictures. So let's step back and prepare to go into the convention. This could be general, like, stuff for conventions. Your water, your snacks / food, money, stuff like that. Make sure you have that stuff. I'm going to tell you, always stay hydrated because you're going to be walking around the convention a lot. It's going to be crowded. If you have anxiety, I would say make sure you spot out areas in advance where you can go there, breathe through a little bit, because the hallways, those little access places where you're going to places, crowded. Very crowded. It's like one-way traffic sometimes. Dealer's Room, Artist Alley, you bet your butt those are going to be crowded throughout the entire weekend. It's going to be hot. It's going to be cold outside, but it's going to be 1,000,000,000 degrees in the Artist Alley and the Dealer's Room. So maybe you go in casual clothes later on to the Dealer's Room and Artist Alley. But on the same word of packing and bringing things, let's talk about Katsu's specific bag policy. You can bring your bulkiest backpack as much as you like, but you are not going into the gamer room with it. Katsu has a checked bag policy. You cannot bring backpacks into the game room under no circumstances. So they do have a place where you can check in your bag, and they hold it for you, like kind of like an airport, and then you go around and you go pick it up. They give you like a ticket, then you go around and you go pick it up once you're done. I think you can also just leave it by like a table, but I don't really trust people around my stuff. If you're going to the game room, I'd suggest just not bringing a backpack, leave it in the hotel room, leave it in your car, whatever, because you cannot bring it in. And I feel like there's always like at least a 15 to 30 minute line to check your bag. So keep that in mind as well. Places to eat. Let's say you want to splurge a little and treat yourself to a nice meal. Katsucon has like over expensive pizza. Do not buy that $11 mini pizza. Please do not. I will put a picture right here of what this pizza looks like. Do not buy this. If Katsucon is selling this, do not buy this. I am serious. It's $11 and it's like this big. No, the tenders, they're fine. I don't know if like the little store is going to be open. It was remodeling when I was there last year, but they usually sell like tenders and pizza in one place, and then they have just like general food and snacks in the other, but I don't know if that's going to be open. There's no food trucks around Katsu, at least the times that I've been, but there are plenty of food places. There's like sandwich places. They have a CVS. There's a Nando's. And they have like some sit-down places right across the street from Katsu, so if you want to spend a little bit more money, you can go there. But there's plenty of food options. You might not want to travel out too far if the weather is, like I've said before, dookie. Katsucon programming. So Katsu has an Idol Fest, which last year had the first one, and it was great. I'm hoping this next one will be even better because there was more planning involved. And then the Masquerade, for whatever reason, is at 3 p.m. this year. I don't know in future years if that's how it's going to be, but this year it's at 3 p.m. Any sort of main event that you want to go to, the Masquerade, the Idol Fest, whatever, you better line up an hour in advance. You do not get to pick your seat. They literally usher you into rows because it just gets that packed. They can't spare single seats. If it's not too important to you, then yeah, go ahead, wait 30 minutes or 20 minutes. But if you're trying to go the minute that it starts, I'm pretty sure it's going to be filled up already. Any sort of main event you want to go to, plan ahead and, bring your Switch and play it until the event starts. Even some of the panels can get really long lines and you won't be able to get in. So anything you want to prioritize, get there early. I guess this is just general extra stuff, this next section. Katsu, like I said, gets pretty crowded. It's going to be very hard to find anywhere to sit down and eat, unless it's on the floor. A lot of famous cosplayers go to Katsucon, so if you're trying to take a picture with them, don't be like a jerk about it. Don't be annoying. That goes to anyone, not just famous cosplayers. If you see someone clearly doing something, don't bother them. If they're eating, if they're sitting, taking a rest, maybe they don't want a picture. Just proper convention etiquette. If someone is clearly busy, don't bother them. Maybe this is the controversial part here, a part of con etiquette, but if you're looking for people to constantly swarm you to take pictures of you, I don't know if that's going to happen for you at Katsucon. You might have the best power chainsaw man cosplay people have ever seen on Instagram. There's going to be 80 other powers at this convention. So don't go into it with a huge ego of everyone's going to take pictures of me. I'm going to be so busy at this convention. Humble yourself a little bit. You are going to be one of 80 Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Cosplay is for fun, and Katsucon, I kind of call it the clout con because some people like to go there and try to get a whole bunch of clout for their cosplays. I mean, you do you, but don't set your ego so high just to let it crash and burn. Just have fun. Bring friends to Katsucon. That's another thing, I guess, in this general section. I did not have as much fun going to Katsucon by myself. It's way more fun when you have people. I mean, that's any convention probably. But Katsucon, you feel real lonely when you're, like, surrounded by crowds of people. You could try to make new friends, but I mean, I have social anxiety. How do you guys do that stuff? Let me know in the comments. How do you make friends at conventions? I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I don't know if I'll do any other sort of like con tip videos. I do anime content on this channel, so feel free to check that out. After Katsucon, I'll be going to Animazement. Maybe I'll make an Animazement themed one. We'll see about that. I do con vlogs, so if you want to see my fun adventures at Katsucon, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to know when I put those videos out. If you did find this video helpful, leave a big thumbs up. If you have any tips of your own, leave them down in the comments. Maybe I'll do a follow-up reading out your tips. I have nothing better to do besides read my comment section. But thank you for watching. I will see you for the next video.